friends. Okay, so today's video, it's all about St. Nicholas. His feast day is coming up, and so I'm going to share what we do in our family, but also give some new ideas if you are looking for some new ideas, fun ideas to do with your children. If you are new here, I would love to have you a part of this awesome community. Okay, let's get into it. So I have 5 children, and I love St. Nicholas. I love him so much because he is the patron saint of children, which I have 5 children, 11 and under, and so I love that he is an actual saint, and he's all about generosity. He was given, his parents died when he was young, and his parents left him a lot of money, and so he was very generous with what he had. So I love that St. Nicholas is all about generosity, because that's really what kind of Advent and preparing for Christmas is all about, right? Is like giving. And so I have 7 ideas of different ways that you could incorporate with your family, some old traditions, but maybe some new traditions that you might want to do with your family. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we do is we definitely do the traditional leave the shoes at the fireplace or under the tree or by the door. And so what you need is just the nicest pair of shoes. I always have my kids get the nicest pair of shoes that they have. Usually they're the church shoes. And what they do is they leave them out on December 5th, so the day before St. Nicholas feast day, which is the 6th. And they leave them there, and then in the morning they find some little goodies. All right, so what you would leave in the shoes are traditionally some gold coins. So these are obviously filled with chocolate, and so you can find these anywhere, really. World Market, I've seen them at World Market and other stores, but so you want to put those in the shoe. Next, you'll get a mandarin orange. This is traditionally what is always put in the shoes as well, which I love because they can eat it first thing in the morning. And then also some little candy canes. And I have these little ones that I just put in there because I don't want to give my kids too much sugar. But they usually will eat that later on, like after dinner or something like that. Okay, so the next thing that I put in the shoe are ornaments. So usually I'll get something that kind of relates to the kids that year, like what sport they're into, or, you know, ballerinas, whatever it is that the kids are into. I'll write the year on the bottom of the ornament and their initial on it, so that they know which one is theirs. When they move out, they can have all of their ornaments. This year I got something that they all loved. So me and Bella went to the Nutcracker last year for the first time, and so we listened to the Nutcracker music all the time, and the boys even love it. So I got them all a little Nutcracker for this year. I thought that was really cute. So so you can do whatever you want, but we traditionally in our house always leave an ornament in their shoe. All right, so we'll put this little ornament in their shoe, and so that's part of the little shoe gift. I think the boys will actually be excited about it too, because they really like the music. All right, and then the last thing that they get with their little shoe is a new book, and I always try to keep it Catholic Christian based for St. Nicholas, Christmas, and Easter. That's when I get all of the Catholic Christian books. And so their little library throughout the year will add up. And I have a whole bunch of ideas over on my blog if you're looking for some good Catholic books that you want to maybe give for Christmas gifts or something like that. But I will wrap that, and then I'll put it under the shoe, and then I'll line them all up where they left it, which is right by the fireplace. All right, so the next thing we'll do is we will make cookies. And so that's like the first day that we actually start making Christmas cookies. The kids love it, just baking, and they love being with the family and all of that. So it's really fun. We make Christmas cookies, and then we actually give it to our neighbors. And the reason that we do that is because St. Nicholas was known for being generous and giving. And so I thought this was a great opportunity to bake, which is something that we love. And instead of eating all the cookies, we can give them to our neighbors who will love them and appreciate them. And so I always get like little tins or something like this, and then we will fill it with all the cookies, and then we'll just bring it over to our neighbors on St. Nicholas feast day. So that's an idea, is to be generous. So something fun, which is baking cookies. And then of course I let them have one. And then on St. Lucy's feast day, which I'm gonna do a vlog this year, so definitely subscribe and look out for that one. But then we have cookies when we do the lights at the end of the day. So, and that's all in that video. But there is a purpose of why we start making cookies then. But the main thing is to make them and give them away, because that is very generous, and that's how St. Nicholas was. And so explaining that to the children of why we do that. So something else you could do with the children is you could go to your church that day. A lot of them have, it's called the giving tree. And so they have little names on there and ages of kids that, you know, are looking for gifts to give. And so that would be something really cool to do too, is to go to your church and on that day pick out some gifts. And you can always go shopping that day too if you wanted to. We're always a little too busy, but know that it's a part of giving, and that's the message of St. Nicholas. So that's something you could do, is just give, or like secretly give to other people. If you know somebody needs a jacket, or you know somebody needs help with something, that's another thing. You could sit down with your kids and be like, okay, how can we be generous this Advent? I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to really go into that. Another thing that we do is, as you can see, our tree is empty. So on St. Nicholas feast day, that's when we actually put up the Christmas ornaments on our tree, and that's what we call it, the Advent tree. So it doesn't have to be a Christmas tree, because we're Catholic. Christmas isn't till, it's a totally different season. So you can call it an Advent tree and then just put ornaments on it that day. Something else you could do are crafts. There's so many awesome crafts out there that you could do with the kids. I did these cookies a couple years ago with Nutter Butters and made them into little St. Nicholases. I'll link that video down below where I have that. So just doing some crafts, arts and crafts I think are really fun for the kids. And then another thing that we do on this day is we learn about St. Nicholas. So there's lots of different really awesome books. This is one traditional one that St. Nicholas and kind of his story of his life and all of that. There's a couple like pretty good ones out there. This one, it's good because it helps children understand the generosity of St. Nicholas, how it all started. And then this is one that I think I'm gonna read this year to the kids. We have library time at night with the kids. And this is actually just a graphic novel, but my children love these. There's a lot of really awesome Catholic graphic novels, and so this is one of them, and so the kids just absolutely love them. There's like St. Bernadette, there's all these different saint ones, but I would think it'd be kind of cool to read this at night so they get to know on St. Nicholas more and his story, and then I get to learn too. I love learning about all these saints, so this is not only an experience for the kids, I enjoy it as well because I just grow closer to God through these like little experiences as well. Also, if you don't want to go buy a book, they have some really cool ones on YouTube all about St. Nicholas. I'll link some down below that I absolutely love, but you can just put in a video for the kids and they will learn. So maybe even while you're baking cookies, you could watch that or something like that. So learning about St. Nicholas and how he was so generous, and that is a really good message for this time of year, because I think a lot of kids are all about receiving, but really it's about giving. And so that I love St. Nicholas because of that. So something else that might be fun for the kids and maybe a part of a tradition that you have is to have the kids sit down and write a list about what they would like for Christmas that year, just to get some ideas for grandparents or you or whatever. So kind of gets the juices going of what they would like. Santa visits your house, write a letter to Santa or something like that. So that's kind of another thing you could add to your list of traditions. And so anyway, those are my ideas. I hope that you all have a wonderful St. Nicholas feast day. You don't have to go all out. You can just do very simple. Don't feel like you have to go all out. But I also think it is really fun to start new traditions when they're littler, and then every year you kind of have these traditions that they hold dear in their heart, but at the same time don't feel like you have to stress out, you know, like just take it easy and just maybe every year decide what you want to do and not do. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.